Hi, the Frosting Guy here for DogCakeWorld.com. You know, I get a lot of questions from customers about how to make homemade dog treats. They also want something that's going to be healthy for their dog and simple to make. Well, that's what we specialize in here at Dog Cake World, and we're going to show you how to make a 10-second cannoli today. Now, if you think of a traditional cannoli, you think of a shell that's been fried and then filled with a pastry cream. Well, human pastry creams are made up with lots of cream, sugar, fats, things that taste good to humans. Luckily, dogs don't care so much about that, and they love a product that we use, Fido's Frosting, because it's a natural yogurt-based frosting with no sugar and no fat. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to the filling. But first, let's talk about a cannoli shell. Instead of using a fried cannoli shell, I'm going to show you how to use ingredients that you have around your kitchen. In this case, I've got a piece of bread. This happens to be a potato bread, but you can use any sort of bread you want. You can use whole wheat, whole grain, white bread. It's up to you. And again, you can cut the bread into any size piece you want. For demonstration, I'm just going to use the full piece today. You then take a rolling pin and watch what happens in less than 10 seconds. You apply the rolling pin to the bread and a little bit of pressure, and it smooths out the bread into a nice flat cake. Now, you can see a nice thin piece of bread there. Took less than 10 seconds. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a regular household cooking spray. I'm going to spray the bread. The reason I do that is because I don't want the cannoli form to stick to it. Now, cannoli forms, you can go out and buy them in a baking store. Or what I did is I simply went to the hardware store, got a piece of copper pipe, had them cut it to the size I wanted, and because copper distributes heat evenly, it's a great cannoli mold. I take it on one end of the bread, and I simply roll until you get to the end. Now you want the seam of the bread to be on the bottom because it's going to hold it together when you toast it. Once you have that together, you take the cooking spray again, and you simply spray the outside to help it brown in the oven, and then place it on a pre-greased baking sheet. Now you see I've got one already. We're going to go ahead and put this in the oven at 350 degrees, just long enough for it to toast and brown. Now, through the magic of TV, I've got a completed cannoli shell for you. Not fried, but baked. You can see a nice brown color where the seam is and it holds together. A nice brown toasted on the outside. You can make a smaller piece of bread and make a smaller cannoli. Now, let's fill the cannoli. I like to use, like I said, Fido's Frosting natural yogurt frosting, which comes in a natural white color. You can add color if you want, but since traditional cannolis are white, I like to use this. I put a star tip on the bag and I squeeze into the ends of the cannoli. You can see I've already done one here, and it looks just like the cannoli you would get in any restaurant in Little Italy. Now these are healthy for your dog, again, because they're not frozen. They contain no sugar, they contain no fat, and it's a healthy yogurt product. So this is a great way to make a homemade dog treat. Simple, easy, with ingredients you already have, and in a matter of 10 seconds or less, you've got a beautiful baked cannoli shell. Thanks for visiting us at Dog Cake World, and we'll see you again on our next video.